Hello there, my name is William Bird and today we're going to talk about risk. The risk of sending a child to school or the risk of keeping them at home. Which is best? How can you make that decision? What facts do you need to help you make that decision? And it's very difficult. And each of us will have a different set of circumstances, a different view on life, different view on our child, different children, different people at home, different schools, different homes. It is a multitude of differences, which means that no single person can say they're right and everyone else is wrong. We all have to go by what we have and what we know. So let's quickly go through things to help you make a decision. First of all, do children get COVID? Well, they do, but very, very few do. So, for example, 0.7% of all the people we've tested in this country are children who've got it. Now, that doesn't mean that children haven't been swabbed. They have been swabbed because when they come in with a high temperature, they'll be swabbed. But it does show that very few, and that's consistent across the world. Secondly, do they get it badly? Well, unfortunately, some do. And there have been at least 4 or 5 deaths in children from COVID. But this is a very, very small number compared to those who have it. Now, those 4 or 5 deaths are tragic. And obviously, those are the things that stick in our mind because that's such a horrendous thing to happen to any child. But perhaps let's look at in proportion. And I'm doing this really just to help to understand what else is going around because we're dealing with risk all the time. And just having a child at home is risky. You know, they can, all sorts of things can go wrong. 143 children die from accidents at home. And even the flu, when it comes every single year, 12 children die. So that's over double the number of children that have died from COVID. So these are horrendous statistics, but it shows that we're dealing with risk all the time. And it's only when it's been heightened, like with COVID, that it makes it slightly more apparent that that risk is the highest we've got. So let's have a think about whether they can spread it. Yeah, they can. They can spread it, but not very well. So an example is that they did a study of a lot of homes and in Netherlands, and they looked at all the homes there where there was COVID and they had children there. In 92% of all the cases, it was the adult that brought the infection back, only 8%. Now that's still something, but it's not very much. 44 nurseries were interviewed, and in all of those, only 2 children actually had COVID in those 44 nurseries, and no other spread was detected from those children mixing with the other children. And the last figure, perhaps just to kind of help on this, is that 9 children with COVID were in a school of over 800 children with adults there, and only 2 other children got COVID. And that was after 2 weeks of those 9 people mixing with everybody else. So children are not good spreaders. It's very unlikely that you're going to get COVID from a child. So with those figures, perhaps it helps you to understand that, yes, there are those terrible things that we read about, but in general, children don't get it. They don't get it very badly, and they don't spread it. On the flip side is what happens when you keep your child at home and don't go to school. Well, there are going to be problems, of course, with a child not getting the education, not getting the exercise, not getting the social interaction. And we know 100% that that can have an effect. Now, there are all sorts of other aspects on that. You might be giving very good home tuition. You might be worried about the child going to school for other reasons. So those can be taken into account. But we do know that obviously children benefit and thrive when they have a good education. So it's again only up to you. Lockdown was very easy. We were told to go and stay at home. Undoing lockdown is really hard because we all have to make our own decisions on our own terms, and that is hard. So I hope that helps, and very much best of luck to everybody. Thank you.